Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Transformers fans everywhere, welcome back. LPS, Last Prime Speculator, here to bring you another video as always. Today our focus will be on issues number 1 and number 2 from the Bumblebee Prequel comics. Issues number 1 being The Man with the Golden Car, and issues number 2, The Living Headlights. These two comics are focused on before the Bumblebee movie will take place. I'm going to be going over each issue and explaining the story. That way, if you don't have access to your local comic book store, you can do it right here on this channel. We'll be able to see if there's any hidden Easter eggs in these two comics and this little mini-series that will be leading to the Bumblebee movie. If you're new to this channel, make sure to consider subscribing, hit that bell and that notification squad to stay updated with all my videos. But with all the way, guys, let's learn about these two comics. The Man with the Golden Car. It's 1964, and following the adventures in World War II, Bumblebee is now working with the British intelligence agency, known as Program, under the code name Gold Wheels. Partner with Agent Omega Zero, David Reeve. Reeve and Bumblebee are sent to East Berlin to track down Conrad Goethel, head of the crime agency, known as IDW. With Reeves infiltrating the organization facility and Bumblebee poised for exfiltration, once the job is complete, Reeve disguises himself as an Eli Dolan goon. But his ruse is seen when he knocks out one of the other henchmen, and the job is complete. Nevertheless, the resourceful Reeves is able to use his variety of concealed gadgets and gizmos, along with fully licensed lethal force, to take out the enemy's agents, navigate the traps separating him from the Goethel office, and pick up the lock of the office door. But it turns out that someone has gotten to Goethel before he could. Reeves finds the villains quite dead, dagger still sticking of some of the stab wounds off his chest, with the explosion strapped to his body. Reeve would leap out of the window as the explosions go off. As he falls, he radios Bumblebee for pickup, but the car that comes speeding towards him transforms into a robot and snatches him out of the air, and it's not Bumblebee, but the Decepticon, Wild Rider. Bumblebee, it turns out, has been delayed in an encounter with the German State Security Service, who are chasing him through the streets of Berlin, but he is able to outplace them, and arrives at the scene just before Wildfire can rush Reeve. Bumblebee tackles Wild Rider through the Berlin Wall and knocks him unconscious with a piece of rubble. Bumblebee and Reeve return to England to meet up with the program director Pelham at Mondre Gregory Studio, one of the organization's base hidden in plain sight as a recording studio. It turns out Pelham is running late, but Agent Diana Locks begins briefing anyway, filling Reeves in the intel provided by the American Sector 7. It turns out Pelham is running late, but Agent Diana Locks begins briefing anyway, filling Reeves with any intel that she's gathered. Also, the intel provided by America's very own Sector 7. Wild Rider has been working with two other Decepticons familiar to Reeves, Runabout and Diablo. And stranger still, all available evidence indicates that the Decepticons are in a cahoots with an unknown human enemy. Outside the studio, Bumblebee is grumbling to himself about being left out in the car in the rain, waiting for Director Pelham as he sees the car pull up. Just as Bumblebee is thinking about telling the old man off, Pelham falls out of the car directly into the pavement, dead from a dagger wound to the chest with explosives strapped to him. Just like Goethel, B has barely had a second to warn Reeve before the blast takes off the studio. Reeve and Lux survive, but Agent Parsons is killed. Pelham's car takes off and Bumblebee gives him a chase, only to be rammed by the side of another car. The new Decepticon arrival is Diablo. Reeve and Lux emerge to the wreckage of the studio as Bumblebee engages the two Decepticons in battle. Diablo opens fire to the two humans, but Bumblebee blocks her shot with his body. B believes the behavior does not represent who Diablo truly is. He claims she once at one point was an Autobot, who had apparently switched sides. But Diablo explains that she was always a Decepticon, who merely served as a spy within the Autobot ranks for Megatron. In order to protect the civilians, Reeve orders Bumblebee to fall back, and the Autobot does so, scooping up the two agents, transforming the vehicle modes, and beating the retreat, leaving an oil slick in his way to slip up the Decepticons and prevent them from giving a chase. From a phone booth on Victoria Embankment, Reeve contacts Program Senior Organization base station on a secure line, delivering his report. The team's tactical specialists, the Eggheads, take down the destruction of Mondre Gregory Studios as a proof of the hypothesis that they have been working on. An agent operating the studios is working with the Decepticons. With Pelham and Parsons dead, only Reeves, Lux, and Bumblebee remain, and Reeve is informed that they are hereby sanctioned. They will receive no contact or aid from the intelligence service until the uncompromised agent is confirmed eliminated. Knowing what he has to do, Reeve hangs up, unholsters his pistol, and leaves the booth. Issue 2. The Living Headlights. Waiting inside the vehicle mode of Bumblebee, while David Reed contacts base station, Diana Lux intercepts Reeve's call and listens in carefully. On the other end of the line, Reeve informs the trio have been disavowed until the suspicion of the Decepticon moles in their ranks can be eliminated completely. Bumblebee isn't ready to believe that Reeve is willing to kill either of him or Lux based on the suspicion, until Reeve reappears, already raising his gun, just as B slaps down his accelerator and speeds off. Diablo and Runabout burst through the river, and Reeve's shotgun goes wild. Reeve quickly jumps on top of B before he gets too far away, but obviously neither the Autobot nor Lux are willing to let him inside, thinking that he is a Decepticon mole, since it appears he just tried to kill him. As the Decepticons pursue the trio through the streets of London, Reeve insists that he had actually been aiming at the approach of the Decepticons, and has no intention of following the base station orders to eliminate B and Lux. B transformed into his robot mode, tossing Reeve and Lux safely while he takes down Diablo. Their fighting quickly carries them into the tower bridge. Reeve is able to use a special anti-transformer rounds to his gun to keep Runabout at bay, while he and Lux hightail across the bridge, heading for a program safe house beneath the nearby Tower of London. But when his ammo runs out, Lux hotwires a scooter parked nearby, and the two agents use to flee deeper into the city. His quarry lost, Runabout joins Diablo in a fighting with Bumblebee, until the little Autobot breaks off the fight by escaping into the River of Thames. Lux leaves Reeves to Brick Lane, where a second off-book safe house established by her and the director Pelham is located. As they head inside, Lux ponders Pelham's reason for trading top program agents Ian Bird to Sector 7 in return for Bumblebee. As Bird is helping ferret out Soviet moles in Sector 7, perhaps B is here to uncover the Decepticon spies in their ranks. The pair are soon joined by Bumblebee, who had arrived via an underwater entrance, having previously been given the safe house location by Lux. Reeve and B encounter with Wild Rider while hunting down Conrad Gotel in Berlin, which indicates the connection between the Decepticons and the criminals. So the next target is the one of Gotel's Soviet contacts, Vladimir Vladik. Donning, disguised as a photographer and a model, Reeve and Lux stake out Vladik, London's base of operations, in the fashionable Canterbury streets. When Reeve spotted Diablo approaching the vehicle mode, he has Bumblebee block the streets so he and Lux can rush the clothing store that is in front of Vladik's headquarters. Reeve attempts to remove the lock on the door that bars away with the laser watch, but Lux has a more powerful solution, smashing it off the boot. The two agents burst into Vladik's office as he is in the middle of burning files, and Lux interrogates the man himself while Reeves holds off the goons. It becomes apparent that Vladik is not in the league with the Decepticons, and that both East and West are being played by the evil robots, who are trying to trick each side into believing the other intimidates the hostiles against them. Vladik agrees with the report and the conclusion to his handlers, attempts to stave off the outbreak of war. Meanwhile, outside, Bumblebee clashes with Diablo again, and once again tries to convince her to talk, for old time's sake. This time, however, Diablo agrees, and the pair relocate to the roof of Vladik's building for a brief conversation. Bumblebee wants to know about the Decepticons' human friends, but Diablo dismisses the entire human species as insects and tools for the Decepticon Empire. What she asks is the difference between a Decepticon using a human to gain the upper hand in war, and all the times the Autobots have done the exact same thing. Bumblebee insists that his alliance is for the good of both species, not just Cybertronians. But before they can discuss more further matter, B's attention is caught up in noise by an ally down below. In the alley, Reeve and Lux watch as Vladik climbs into his car, preparing to head off to meet with the handlers. Before his driver can even turn the key of the ignition, the car begins to shudder, and then transforms, revealing the Decepticon, Dead End, in disguise, who crushes Vladik and his driver to death inside his assumed robot form. As Bumblebee looks into horror, Diablo laughs and bounds away, their conversation only being a delaying tactic. Bumblebee turns to watch her go, unaware of a closer of missiles streaking towards him from behind. And this is where issue 2 comes to an end. So I hope you guys enjoyed those 2 issues of the Bumblebee prequel comics. I'm kind of going to be doing a little web series leading up to the Bumblebee movie of 2 issues at a time. So obviously the next one will be 3 and 4. Hopefully this guys can keep you a little bit educated and give you some knowledge of possibly where they're going with the Bumblebee movie. A lot of the times these comics haven't been used. But let's see if Travis Knight actually goes through these comics, if this is actually a giant story leading into the Bumblebee movie, which we're all really excited for. I also wanted to hear your feedback. I also wanted to do the Transformers Unicron series of the IDW continuity. It's a very exciting series. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. I'll put it this way. If you're a diehard Optimus Prime fan and you've been waiting for the battle of Optimus Prime versus Unicron, this Transformers Unicron is everything and more that we've been waiting for. We get to see the Horizon, aka Optimus Prime, take out the Dark God, the Devil, Unicron. It's a fantastic series. But this IDW Comics series is something that I'm very passionate about, and I wanted to share with you guys. So if this is something you guys enjoyed, let me know in the comments below. Together, we can find the Easter eggs of Bumblebee the movie. If you're new to this channel, we dig deep in the lore of Transformers. To my subscribers, again, I love you so much. If you're new to this channel, make sure to consider subscribing, hit that bell and notification. And don't forget to like and share this video. That way you can stay up to date with all my videos, speculation, spoilers, news, and all that good stuff. To my subscribers, again, I love you so much. This is LPS here to bring you another Bumblebee movie video. Peace.